Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. Well, this decision has to be examined seriously because it has not been adopted by any Khap Panchayat but by an elected body. Yes, the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council on Wednesday passed a bill that would take away or strip a Khasi woman of her scheduled tribe status and all other privileges if she marries a non-Khasi. Not just that, the children of such a woman would also be considered non-Khasi. That's not all. This prohibition applies not just to non-tribals, but men from any other tribe. That means, if a Khasi woman marries a Garo, she would be regarded a non-Khasi. While many have supported the bill, there are people who are strongly opposed to it. Of course, the bill is yet to receive the governor's assent, as district councils are under the gubernatorial shadow, supervision, even discretion. The NPP-led Meghalaya government, led by Chief Minister Conrad Sangma too, will come under scrutiny because its views or stand on the matter will be of great interest. Will the Harvard-educated Conrad Sangma and his newly elected state government be a party to this idea? And can Conrad Sangma oppose the move because the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council is led by his party and the chief executive member, Mr. H.S. Shila, who initiated the bill, is an NPP member? Well, we'll have to wait and watch. Of course, Mr. Conrad Sangma is not Harvard educated. That was an error. He's of course a Wharton graduate. The debate, the issue this evening, I am joined from Shillong by the man himself, Mr. H.S. Shila, NPP leader and chief executive member of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, Ms. Patricia Mukim, editor of the Shillong Times, Mr. Lanbok Mangnar, president of the Khasi Students Union, Mr. R.J. Lingdo, former Home Minister Meghalaya, and Joe Lamare, writer and social activist. Of course, at the studios in Guwahati, I have Dr. Jyoti Barua, former director of the Law Research Institute of Guwahati High Court, someone who has extensively researched on tribal customary laws in the region, and Ms. Maini Mohonto, writer and commentator. Let me begin with you straight, Mr. H.S. Shila, the chief executive member of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council. Mr. Shila, welcome to Northeast Tonight. The Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, Mr. Shila, has passed a social custom bill this week. What was the urgency in doing so? Mr. Shila.
It is a very simple bill. The Khasi Lineage Act has been framed since 1997. So we have only inserted one clause restricting the Khasi women to marry a non-Khasi man. This is, we should have done it earlier, but anyhow, since the previous committee has not done it, we brought it and it was unanimously accepted by the council of the 29 MDCs.
Okay, you describe it as a very simple bill, only one clause inserted. That's what you are saying, Mr. Shila. But Mr. Shila, marriage is a personal choice of two adult individuals, isn't it? Now, the bill therefore is seen as controversial.
Oh, we respect this very much. They have their personal choice. Nobody can restrict that. But by doing that, they only lost the Khasi status if they marry outside the Khasi tribe. The Khasi tribe is a very tiny community in India. If you don't preserve it, it will disappear in no time.
Okay.
So we have to do this to preserve. And it is in line with the ruling of the Supreme Court in Anjan Kumar case 2006, where a tribal woman cannot lose her scheduled tribe status if she marry a non-tribal man.
Okay. Now, what has been the immediate provocation? Do you think the Khasi community was facing some serious threat. What prompted you to come up with the bill so hastily?
Oh yes, if you don't bring this bill immediately, then we will be swallowed up. And lot of benefits are being a Khasi. We got a scheduled tribe, another reservation of seats, and so many things, especially in the business. We have a land transfer act where a non-tribal cannot buy land. But people, they marry our people just for to get advantage to enroll to those laws which has banned non-Khasi to have access to them.
Okay, but you are obviously, Mr. Shila, you are obviously aware that the bill has been opposed by prominent civil society members in Shillong, representing the state of Meghalaya. There is opposition to the bill.
Those people, they are less concerned about the Khasi community as a community. They are people with no border. So we cannot accept their views. We are the people who want that the Khasi community should remain a Khasi community. So for those people who don't have those concern for the Khasi people as a community, we don't listen to their voice.
Okay.
We listen to the voice of the majority who want to preserve the Khasi as a Khasi community.
Okay, you are simplifying the matter. We'll take the views. I have a very distinguished panel, Mr. Shila. People are also talking about the haste in which the bill was introduced in the council and then passed, Mr. Shila.
You see, because the entire house of the 29 MDC, they agree to this proposal, this bill. No one raised any objection, or otherwise they vehemently support this bill. So there will be no scope for amendment, no members to move an amendment. Otherwise, if there is any member who raised any point, so the chairman will have to fix the next day to submit their amendment and the third day for consideration of the bill. But since all the members they supported this bill, so there is no scope for any amendment because the entire house was in unanimity to bring this bill. They said it is too late, but nevertheless we bring it yesterday. So when there is, when the entire house agreed to it, so I pointed out to the chairman, since we don't have any more business, and then we have to take up the bill today, since no one from the house will raise amendment.
Okay, now before I let you go, Mr. Shila, do you think the bill will get the approval of the Chief Minister and of course the Governor? Many well-known commentators in Meghalaya, including Ms. Patricia Mukim and others, have questioned several aspects of the bill.
Yeah, first we will meet the Chief Minister on the first week of next month and see we have the urgency of getting the approval of the Governor. We don't listen for the few people, especially we have mentioned like Patricia Mukim. You must, people, they know about Patricia Mukim. Who is she?
She is the editor of Ceylon Times. She is a very well-known commentator.
I got a lot of phone call. You go to social media, see people, they appreciate. It is well moved that we have. It is it's too late, but at least it will serve to a great extent to protect the Khasi peoples as a community.
Mr. Shila, can you dismiss alternative voices? Now, have you discussed the bill with CM Congress Sangma? Have you discussed the bill with the Chief Minister?
No, we will approach him on the first week when he will be in the capital. Now, as of now, he is in Tura. So as soon as he comes to Shillong next week, we will discuss with this thing to him, and then we also meet the Governor.
Okay, finally, Mr. Shila, this bill will be passed. You think so?
Oh, yes. There is no doubt.
Okay, that was Mr. H. Shila. Thank you very much for speaking to Northeast Tonight. Miss Patricia Mukim, I would like to go straight to you. You have heard Mr. Shilla there. See, he doesn't seem to take your views seriously, saying your views meaning those who are opposing the bill. Mr. Shilla there very clearly said that he doesn't give much importance to those people or those voices who are opposing the bill. Ms. Patricia Mukim.
Yes. Yes, we can see that for Mr. H.S. Shilla, a dissenting voice is not a voice because he wants everybody to go by what he says. And it just shows you what a rigid mindset and how undemocratic his whole stance is. Because every bill actually has to go through a process. You have to give it to a select committee who will go through the pros and cons of the bill and who will also have to rely on some research. You're claiming that or the people who marry Khasi women, the non-Khasis who marry Khasi women are claiming illegitimate benefits. Now, how many of those such cases are there? We need case studies. We need facts and figures. Without any research, how can you just make a hollow claim and expect people to accept it will go down well with the community at large? Even those who are not married, I don't think that a section of the or large section of people who think through anything, any issue will agree with this bill.
Right.
It's
I will come back to you.
Those with very, very narrow mindsets.
I will come back to you, Ms. Patricia Mukim. I will also come to Mr. R.G. Lingdo. Very quickly, let me take a different view. Mr. Lambok Mangnar, President of the Khasi Students Union, what do you think of this bill? Is there a serious crisis in the Khasi community that the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council had to come up with a bill like this?
Well, the stand of the union is very clear. We are welcome the initiated by the district council. So we believe that this bill will preserve and protect the identity of the Khasi community.
Okay, Mr. R.G. Lingdo, the president of the Khasi Students Union, Mr. Lambok Mangnar, he thinks that the bill is a good idea because it will protect the interest of the Khasi community. My question to you, Mr. R.G. Lingdo, don't you think marriage is all about two people deciding, two adult individuals deciding, and there is a Supreme Court 3-bench verdict given only in this March, which says that not the parents, not the community, no clan can interfere in the choice of two adult individuals. What do you think?
See, marriage is a very personal thing. I fully subscribe to that. Now, about the view that some people are marrying to get benefits, I do not know on what basis this claim has been made. I personally feel that this bill could have been done in a more systematic way. It could have been done in a more rational way. To see that 30 people in the assembly, in the district council, speak on behalf of 10 lakhs, just like that, I think is wrong. I think it should have been put into the public domain. Views from civil society should have been solicited. And then after looking at the views and after research and after looking at how things were, maybe some other way of protecting our tribe can be done. Because I feel that this goes against the very spirit of our Khasi tradition, which is a very inclusive spirit. We, all along, Khasi women have given their surname to their offsprings. Now, to say that you know, because somebody marries and outside of the Khasi tribe, they should not get that surname anymore is wrong. It goes against the matrilineal tradition of our society. Now, if they are allowed to take their mother's surname, then you may have a Lingdo who is a tribal and you may have a Lingdo who is not a tribal. Now, how do we differentiate? See, there's a lot of things that have to be looked into the matter. For instance,
Yes.
even land. The land that belongs to these people will go to whom? Who will get it? Will it go to the state? Will it go to the council? Will it go to the clan? Where will it go? This proper research, proper
Yes.
checks and balances, and proper mechanisms have to be put in place.
Lot of arguments put forward there by Mr. R.J. Lingdo. Mr. Joe Lamare, you know, what do you think? Do you think that, fine, whatever is the law, at the end of the day, a bill is introduced on Tuesday and passed on Wednesday. Don't you think Mr. R.J. Lingdo has a solid point that whatever is it, at the end of the day, this bill should have been discussed in a much broader framework. It should have discussed, opinion of the people should have been taken, at least the civil society organizations. Mr. Lamare.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you for being a part of this show and hosting this show. First of all, I would like to say something regarding this bill. As H.S. Shalla, the CEM of KHADC, has said that this bill was first introduced in 1997 and it has got the assent of the governor in the year 2005. And as we know, a lot of debates, a lot of controversial things have come out in the open regarding this bill.
Yeah.
And this is not a new bill that we are debating on. Actually, it's the old bill, and there is only one section that has been added. I am not here siding with the district council because on many issues the district council also has proved to be a failure. But in this aspect, by them introducing this very particular section, a new subsection, as I would say, that it's a good thing. I strongly welcome and I strongly appreciate the initiative taken by the district council because I feel that this will safeguard the true identity of the local people. Because as we have seen now, that marriage is like a loose thing. You know, a loose thing in the sense that people marry whoever they want, a Khasi girl, without the consent of the parents. They elope with anybody whom they like, and at the end of the day, when they land up in trouble, it's the Khasi race that has to fail.
Mr. Joe Lamare, I'm sure you are aware of what you are saying. This is a very, very sensitive comment that you are making, isn't it? I'm sure you are aware of that.
Yes, I am very well aware of what I am saying.
We can't hear what is being said.
Because this is the prevailing issue that has been happening, and because the district council we have elected our MDCs. We have elected our MDCs to represent us in the district council, and it is their responsibility to make laws according to what they feel is right for the local people, because the autonomous district councils both in Khasi Hills, Chancha Hills and Garo Hills are being they are being given by the Constitution of India, 6th schedule, to make laws and to frame laws according to the needs of the hour of the people.
I would ask my producers to fix the audio, because if the entire panelist doesn't hear, then debate will hamper. Actually, Mr. Lingdo, hang on. We are trying to fix the audio with you. You have to hear what the others are saying. Yeah, Dr. Jyoti Barua, let me take a view from our studio, somebody who is not from Meghalaya. Dr. Jyoti Barua, you have researched extensively on the customary laws of the tribal communities in Northeast India. You had been the director of the Law Research Institute of the Guwahati High Court. What do you think of this sudden move by the Khasi Hills District Council to actually restrict, marriage of Khasi women with non-Khasi, and saying that you will be stripped of your scheduled tribe and other privileges?
I am very much surprised to know about the bill, contents of the bill, because you see, we cannot do anything against our women, because we have to follow the constitutional provisions, especially the Article 14 and 15. Moreover, we have that charter, we have the provisions in CEDAW which is discriminate. We cannot accept anything which is discriminatory in nature against women.
Yeah.
And moreover, we know that Khasi society is very rich, and women are occupying a preeminent position, and they are looking after the society and that land system. Who is holding, who is caring, who is maintaining the land system? It is the KHADC or the women as a whole. So, in that case, how can you separate men and women in such a rich society? And that is why I want to support Patricia, because you see, she has already mentioned that before taking a decision like this, we must have a
thorough debate.
Serious discussion.
Okay, there is no doubt about that. We need to have a serious debate.
Yeah, and research.
Absolutely. Dr. Jetubara, I will come back to you once again. Maini Mohanto, what are your opening remarks? What are your thoughts?
Wasbir, first of all, I would like to put one disclaimer, because Mr. Sheila already said that they will listen only to the Khasi community, to the people from Khasi community, because it is right, because our great politicians created the world that people started thinking that people from one community can discuss the problems of that particular community. But I think this is a women issue, and women issue not from Meghalaya, women from northeastern India. Today I read 2 letters to address to the Khasi Hill District Autonomous Council, one from Patricia Mukim, editor Ceylon Times, and another one is from Amerin Kharvi. She is a girl in her 20s. I appreciate both of these letters, and I think that if someone read these 2 letters, they can know the real cause behind this issue, you know.
Okay. Absolutely, absolutely.
And it is, you know, it is unconstitutional actually, because it violates the Supreme Court's verdict also.
Before I go to once again to Ms. Patricia Mukim and Arji Lingdo for their comments, Mr. Lambok Mangnar, at least don't you agree that this bill, I know you are supporting the bill, I know you are saying that this is a good initiative, you are entitled, fully entitled to your views, but my question is very simple, Mr. Mangnar, it is this. Don't you think that these kind of bills affecting a total community, impacting on a whole community, should go for a wider debate? As Mr. Lingdo was saying, 30 people representing 10 lakh people, I think, don't you think it is a little arbitrary?
But the stand of the union is very clear. Because why we welcome the bill moved by the district council?
Yeah.
Because we think for the next generation, we think for the long term, to protect and preserve for the interests of the community of the Khasi people. Yes, the non-Khasi married to the Khasi women, they have their own objective. To do business, to buy land, property, so on and so forth, in the name of the Khasi women.
So are you suspecting the intentions of the entire Khasi women? Don't you think we all need to trust the women in Khasi like we have to trust everybody, of course, but in this case, since the debate is on the Khasi women, my question to you is very simple. I'll come to reactions from other panelists, but Mr. Mangnar, don't you think we need to trust? How can you generalize every Khasi woman to be acting with some vested interest?
Well, the history of Khasi people, we have witnessed the weak and the threat of the Khasi community. So we need the bill to strengthen the customary law, to strengthen the identity of the Khasi community.
Okay. Ms. Patricia Mukim, the KSU president, Mr. Lambok Mangnar, is saying that a bill is good because it will strengthen the Khasi customary laws, it will protect the Khasi community, and he's basically said that some of the Khasi women cannot, this practice of doing business and other things just because someone has married a Khasi woman cannot be allowed to go on forever. Ms. Patricia Mukim.
Look, Wasbir, these are tall claims. Like I said, and I repeat, where is the statistics? And I want to refer to what Mr. Shilla earlier said. He spoke of a ruling given by a certain court, which is a ruling given in respect of a patriarchal society. If a woman in a patriarchal society, a tribal woman in a patriarchal society marries a non-tribal person, then obviously, because that is a patriarchy, the children and that woman will take the surname or the clan name of the husband, who is a non-Khasi. But this is a matrilineal society we are talking about. If we don't take the Khasi clan name, what clan name do we take? That's point number one. And then this word Khasi, I think it has to be clearly defined. What Khasi are you talking about? What does the word Khasi mean? And then repeatedly, there is reference to the word preserve the custom. You cannot preserve anything because society is dynamic. It changes all the time. You can only conserve certain values of that society.
Absolutely.
And then one more thing, Wasbir, excuse me. No, one more thing. If you look at para 20, stroke 2 of the 6th schedule, it says that the KHADC only has jurisdiction over areas that are outside the Shillong municipality, outside the European ward. So Khasi women marrying non-Khasis and living within the European ward or within the municipality will still be Khasis. Those living outside those areas will become non-Khasis.
That is
what kind
a
of
very
bill is
technical thing. That is absolutely, that is a technical thing. I will come back to all my panelists. I'll go for a short break. I'll come back to Mr. R.G. Lingdo, Mr. Lambok Marnar, Mr. Joe Lamarian, my panelists in the studio. I'll go for a short break. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Mr. R.G. Lingdo, then the question arises, what about Khasi men? What about Khasi men marrying non-Khasis? Do you think that question also needs to be addressed?
See, first and foremost, let me establish one fact. I am a Khasi. I love my Khasi people. I would like to see what is best for the Khasi people done. And if there's something that is proven to be good for the Khasi society, I would never go against it. Let me be very clear about that. Now, when it comes back to this bill, now we've only talked about one section of the Khasis, and that is the women. And as you have pointed out, what about the men? See, now, within the men also, there is a system, a Khasi tradition of Tangjai.
Yeah.
The reason why the Khasis are 10 lakhs also is because of the inclusive nature of the Khasis. Most other tribes are less than 2 lakhs, 1 lakh. Now we are a big tribe compared to other tribes because of the inclusiveness of our traditions and our customs. So I would like to see a little more debate. I would like to go more in depth to see what would be the ramifications of any act. Now, if we talk about saying that a Khasi woman who marries an outsider is no longer a Khasi, there are a lot of ramifications. which need to be looked
want
into.
to see
Have we
a
looked into
little
all
more
the
debate.
ramifications?
Yes, Mr. Lamare, I think it's a very reasonable.
I would like to see a little
it's
more
a reasonable
research, a little
demand,
more
isn't
debate.
it, Mr. Lamare? It is a reasonable demand, isn't it, that Mr. R.G. Lingdo is making? Fine. Does it not? Does it not?
I cannot hear
you
to
know,
what RJ
merit
said.
a little more debate? Does it not merit a little more debate, Lamare?
A debate in what sense, if I may ask by R.G. Lingdo? In what sense? As I've said earlier, that this bill has been there since 1997 and it has got the assent of the governor in 2005. What more debate do you want, by R.G.?
Mr. Lingdo, what more debate do you want? What more debate do you want? That is what Joe Lamare is asking you. RG.
No, can I come in here, Wasbir?
Yes.
See, all I'm saying is that I would like to look properly at what could be the fallouts of this act. Will it really benefit our people? Will it cause a schism within our people? I mean, all these things need to be looked at very properly. You can't say that, overnight we pass something which will be very good for the people. How can you say that?
Yes.
I don't believe
right.
in that. I think a little more thought needs to be put into it.
Yes, Kongpat. Yes, Kongpat.
And I don't hear what the others
What
are
do
saying,
you think?
so I do not know how to react also.
No. Joe Lamare is speaking about the bill that was passed in 97 and which was endorsed by the governor in 2005. That bill did not have this particular clause that Khasi women marrying non-Khasi men will lose their status as Khasis and as scheduled tribes, and not only they but also their children. This is the this is the sore point about this whole debate. And this is actually, you can see patriarchy coming out of a matrilineal society. All this time it was hidden. Now the barbs are out, It's a straight gender fight. And everybody is talking about landlessness, about land going to non-tribal. Who is alienating the land? Let's do some research. The Socio-Economic Draft Survey 2011 has clearly said that 76% of rural Meghalaya is landless. Who has given out that land to a few elite tribals, not even non-tribals?
I'll come back. I'll also have to come to my panelist in the studio.
In favor of cement companies.
Right. Now, you have heard that comment. You have heard the response, Joe Lamare. Basically, what Ms. Patricia Mukim is saying needs statistics, needs figures. This bill which was passed or got the governor's assent in 2005, the bill which you are talking about, did not have this clause. That's what Ms. Patricia Mukim is saying. And Mr. R.G. Lingdo is basically arguing that he wants to know the fallout of this bill. Joe.
Okay, if I may add also here, that this bill restricts only Khasi women, and you wanted me to answer regarding the men, right? If I'm not mistaken, you wanted me to answer regarding why not it not be applicable for the men also? Why only to the women? As we know in the Khasi society, that when a Khasi man marries, his children do not assume the title of the mother or his title, but they have to go through a ritual called the Tangjat, which means they have to go through a ritual in which they will be getting a new title. So that does not apply here, because as we have said, that this will only what we are talking here is only what KSU president also has said, that this bill is introduced for the women because at the end of the day, the children that are born out of these mixed marriages, what the issue here is, they assume the title of the mother. And at the end of the day, when these children are born also, sometimes we have seen that they do not even know their mother tongue. The mother tongue of the mother also they do not know. But they assume the title, but they get the title. So that is also a very serious issue.
Now,
If any of the panelists would
Mr.
want to add something on
Mangnar,
that.
I will
Yes.
come back to my panelists in the studio, but before that, very quickly, Mr. Mangnar, you know, the traditional institutions, let us keep aside the views of civil society representatives. Even the traditional Khasi institutions like the Grand Council of Chiefs, they have also expressed their reservation about this bill. Only thing, debate, discussions, consensus, that seems to be missing. That is one of the major concerns expressed by the people. We are saying that so and so is opposing the bill, so and so is supporting the bill. It is not that simple. I think even the Grand Council of Chiefs have expressed their opposition. What do you have to say?
Well, the Grand Council also have expressed their view, their opinion regarding with this bill. But the question is, how long we will debate, how long we will discuss. But we see the bill that is to ensure for the survival of the Khasi community and to counter the policy of love jihad.
The policy of love jihad. Okay, so do you see it as love jihad, Mr. Mangnar? Khasi women marrying non-Khasis, do you see it as love jihad?
The non-Khasi community marrying to the women, to the Khasi women, they use their weapon. It doesn't mean you weapon that bomb, bullet or gun. They use weapon with love to counter
Okay.
and to destroy the Khasi community.
Mr. Mangnar, you know, it is not just non-tribals. The bill clearly says that even if it is a tribal but not a Khasi, the bill will apply. So, you mean to say the Garos, the Jaintias, the Nagas, the Mizos, everybody is engaged in love jihad. Are you trying to say that? I just want to be clear. I want to understand what you are saying actually.
I'm not talking about the Naga or Mizo. I'm talking about my own community.
Right. Now, Dr. J.T. Barua, in March, there was a Supreme Court judgment by 3-member bench that included the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court that said that, you know, for marriage, 2 consenting adult individuals is all their decision is necessary. No parent, no community, no clan can interfere in any way. Now, can the governor of Meghalaya actually give assent to this bill? What do you think?
No, most probably the governor of Meghalaya, he is not aware of this thing. His Excellency is not aware of that Supreme Court verdict. And
No. I mean, let us not prejudge that because he has not given his assent yet.
No,
my question to you is not that. My question is, can the governor of Meghalaya give assent to such a bill?
No. My opinion is that he cannot.
Mr. R.G. Lingdo, what do you think? Can the governor of Meghalaya give his assent to this bill? What is the legal position?
See, I mean, if I was the governor and if I did not know all the pros and cons, if I did not know the fallouts, if I was supposed to give assent only based on emotions, I think I will not give the assent. So, if I was the governor, so I can't speak on behalf of other people, of course.
Yeah. Mani Mohanto.
Yeah, Mr.
Mangnar.
He said that when the question is asked about the male Khasi who are getting married to non-Khasi, then he said that the question doesn't arise. But my question is that why it is mentioned in the last part of the bill that when time will come, they will bring male members also. And another thing is that it's, I feel it's very weird, unconstitutional, unethical and undemocratic because it violates the verdict you said about the verdict of the Supreme Court. And especially the northeastern women, we northeastern women, not only Khasi, we are totally different from the rest of the country. The matrilineal society, we are proud of their, that status of women in their society. But by bringing this bill,
it's an affront on the
yeah.
I mean the traditional matrilineal form of society.
Exactly. I
it's
think
an affront
so.
on
It should
that.
be discussed in a broader sense because 29 members cannot decide the fate of Khasi women, I think. So it should be discussed in a broader form, include civil society members also.
Mr. Joe Lamare, our panelists in Guwahati are saying that 30 people cannot decide the future of Khasi women. 30 people, mostly men, or maybe all men, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, in the district council of 29 members, there are lady members also, including 3 MDCs, Rona Khamdek from Nongpo, Grace Kharpuri, and we also have Tailinia who are also women, and we have seen that they also have consented to the bill.
Yes.
And they have also raised no objection. And they have not raised any objection. And regarding the question that you have asked regarding the governor's assent, I think the governor should assent the bill because this bill has been passed in Khasi Hills, in the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, which serve the interests of the local Khasi people. And I think he should assent the bill.
Lamare,
there may
Mr.
be a
Lamare,
little flaw here
just
and
hold
there,
on.
or maybe something.
Mr.
Yes.
Lamare,
Yes.
you are saying that the governor should give his assent. But my question is, can the governor, because of the existing Supreme Court verdict on the matter, not on the Khasi women, but general?
But since this is Meghalaya, we are talking about traditional laws, no? We are talking about traditional laws, and this is a traditional issue. It is a customary issue, and because the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council also passed this bill in the interest of the local Khasi people, and it will not affect the issues in the rest of India. So for a small issue within Meghalaya, this will only affect the local people of Meghalaya. It will not touch the population elsewhere, but it will only come into effect only with the people of Khasi Hills. That also not with Garo Hills, not with Jaintia Hills. It's only with the Khasi Hills. And I think if the governor thinks in that way, he should give his assent to the bill.
Yeah, Ms. Patricia Mukim,
because how long can the governor prolong in signing this bill?
Ms. Patricia Mukim, Joe Lamare is saying that this impacts only Khasi Hills, that there is nothing to do with Jaintia Hills and Garo Hills. But I think, correct me if I am wrong, I think a Garo or a Jaintia henceforth will not be allowed to marry a Khasi woman. If a Khasi woman marries a Garo or a Jaintia, that woman will cease to be a Khasi. But coming back to my question, what is your opinion? The governor it will not be that easy for the governor to give the assent, isn't it?
See, I have to say one thing about this argument. We have to separate facts from rhetoric. And you can't base all these TV discussions on rhetoric. The district council is a product of the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. It is not bigger than the Indian Constitution. So whatever laws are under the Indian Constitution, whatever rights, the 6th schedule cannot override those rights. And secondly, this word marriage is an imported English word. Khasis used to have what we call cohabitation. 2 people living together is accepted as a relationship. There are many families that live together for decades until they die without any proper marriage. So what do you call that? And then if this Khasi woman who marries a non-Khasi, if there is a divorce, what happens to her after that? What happens to the children after that? Can she come back to being Khasi, or is she excommunicated, ostracized forever? You know, this bill is very dangerous because it fragments the society, it drives a wedge in this society, and and it is done
this
just
is a
for
very important
political
point
effect.
which Patricia
It's just
Mukim is
creating
raising.
a sort of a paranoia.
Very important point which Patricia Mukim is raising. Lombok Mangnar, what happens to a Khasi woman married to a non-Khasi after divorce? What happens to that? Have you ever applied your mind? Will she be accepted as a Khasi again, or will she be totally, I mean, you know, de-recognized? Will she be disowned by the community?
Can you repeat the question? I can hear properly.
My question is, Ms. Patricia Mukim has raised a very important point. Ms. Patricia Mukim is asking a question. What will happen to those Khasi women who have non-Khasi husbands? Suppose they are divorced, can they become Khasis again, or they will be de-recognized, they will be disowned by the community?
Well, those who are opposed to this bill, they have expressed their view, their opinion. But since we are support and appreciate the move of the District Council, we believe that this bill
Mr. Mangnar,
will be.
Mr. Mangnar, my question is not that. I have to get your answer to this. Those Khasi women whose husbands are non-Khasi, suppose there is a divorce, will the society accept that Khasi woman once again as a Khasi, or that person will be disowned by the community? It's a simple question.
That it depends on the rule framed by the District Councils regarding with this bill. We have seen, we have to see what the rules stated regarding with this matter.
I don't know whether the bill has this clause as well. What will happen to the people who are divorced? Mr. Lamari, what do you think? Do you think the bill has a provision on that as well? So it must be
According to what I have seen, I've read the bill. I have not seen anything provisions as such.
Yeah.
But if a Khasi woman, as you have said, if she's divorced and wanted to return back to her clan, that depends upon her family whether they still want to accept her or not, whether they want to excommunicate her, or whether they want to
yes,
that depends entirely on the family.
Yes, yeah,
and also upon the clan, because in Khasi Hills we have the traditional institutions that can also decide on that.
Yeah, family will decide whether to take back or not in the case of a divorce. But in the case of a marriage, can the family not take that decision? That is the key question. Mr. Arjilingdo, I will go for another quick break, but after the break, I'll come back to you, Mr. Lingdo, on that note. Stay on, don't go away. Welcome back. Mr. Arjilingdo, before going for the break, Mr. Joe Lamare was saying on the issue of divorce that the family will take the decision on whether to accept such a woman back or not. Suppose a woman divorced by a non-Khasi husband. Now my question to you, Mr. Arjilingdo, don't you think the family is also competent to take a decision on who that family's daughter is going to get married to?
See, let me say one thing. I am aware and I am sensitive to the fact that today a lot of Khasi males feel that they're discriminated upon. I appreciate and I am aware of the fact that there may be some non-Khasis who are marrying Khasi women to get benefits of not paying income tax, this, that, and all that.
Yes.
But my question is, is this the best alternative? Have we exhausted all other softer options before we took this extreme step? Here you're saying that a person who is Khasi will no longer be treated as a Khasi, will not be looked upon as a Khasi. I think this is a rather extreme step to take. And to take such extreme steps based only on emotions, I think is wrong. That's why I do not oppose the fact that there needs to be some protection. Yes, I fully subscribe to the fact that there needs to be some sort of protection. But to what level? That is what I'm asking. What I'm asking is,
right,
are all other softer options exhausted before this step was taken?
Okay, I will come
the
to
family,
you. I will come
deciding on whether the person who has divorced can come back or not. If the family can decide that, then they can also decide on who the person can marry also.
Absolutely,
that's
absolutely. Fair. Yeah, that is the point I was trying to make.
Can you hear me? Hello.
I will come to you, Ms. Patricia Mukim, but before that, Dr. Jyoti Barua, do you think that, as Patricia Mukim had said, that the district council has been formed in accordance with the Constitution's 6th schedule. Now we are talking about customary laws, but the 6th schedule itself is under the very much a part of the Indian Constitution. It's a product of the Indian Constitution.
Yes.
The district council actually is a product of the Indian Constitution. So can it cite customary laws as a excuse, if I may use the word, and pass laws which they think are beneficial to the community? I'm not questioning the bill. I'm just trying to elicit different opinions on the bill. Now, my question is, Jyoti Borya, what do you think?
Yeah. It seems that when in the Constitution it is there that Article 14 and 15 there should not be any discrimination. But on the other hand, 6th schedule is there, that provision of 6th schedule, as if it has given the discriminatory nature to the people. But it is not like that. That 6th schedule was formulated only to preserve the sanctity of the customary laws, to respect the customary laws, and thereby to respect the tribal people of the Northeast. And that is why we cannot
protect their interests.
Yes. So we protect their interests means
but
identity crisis. There should not be any identity crisis.
But do you think they have also right to restrict on issues on marriage and other things? Because I'm sorry, I'll come back to you,
yes,
Dr.
yes.
Jyoti Barua. Ms. Patricia Mukim, at the end of the day, it seems that this is all directed at issues of a lot of outsiders, quote unquote, if I may use the word, coming into states in the Northeast. It may also be linked to the issue of infiltration. It may also be linked to the issue of illegal migration. So do you think there is a linkage? Do you think this is the result of a fear? This bill is the result of a fear in the minds of some people?
Look, we cannot survive just on paranoia, fear of this or that or the other. We have to have clear research, and I want to ask the district councils, how much have they actually invested on research? Because if they're talking about Benami trade, I want to know why they don't have the numbers, why they don't have the figures. They are the ones who are expected to contain the Benami trade. And there are several Khasi men of affluence who are doing Benami trade. What about them? I mean, why is all the muck being thrown at women? As if women are the ones who are selling off all the family jewels. And this has gone on for a long time. It's time that we stand up and put a stop to this. If you ask me, this is the politicization of a very sensitive social issue. It's pure politics and nothing else.
Mr. Mangnar,
and Wasbir, I will end by saying that those who speak about culture and tradition. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you,
Those
Patricia.
who speak about culture and tradition, they should understand that Khasi culture and tradition has never spoken about a pure race, because there isn't any pure race.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Mangnar, you know, you have heard Patricia Mukim. What do you think?
Well, the Patricia Mukim have expressed their view, their opinion, since they are opposing this bill. If it can debate till tomorrow, also Compat can express the same view. But I believe the 29 members of the State Council have tabled this bill on the floor of the House without no one opposing this bill. So I believe they discussed thoroughly, they studied thoroughly, they examined thoroughly regarding this bill before they passed the bill on the floor of the House.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. Mangna, go ahead. Okay. Mr. Lamari, you have also heard what Ms. Patricia Mukim said. What happened? She said that why blame only the Khasi women for all the malpractices? Why blame the Khasi women alone for the malpractices? Patricia Mukim is saying that a lot of Khasi men are also engaged in Benami trade and other Benami transactions and all kinds of things. That is what she is saying. Joe. Joe? Lamari? Can you hear me? No. Maini Mohanto. I mean, yeah, Patricia Mukim had raised a very valid point. Why raise this needle of suspicion only on the Khasi women? What about, she said that a lot of Khasi men may also be engaged in Benami trade, Benami practices.
Exactly, I do agree what Patricia said. And though they say that it's their inside story, we people from outside Khasi shouldn't comment or like that, but we are worried because we think, is it the beginning of Khap-like things
Khap
in northeastern
panchayats.
India, Khap panchayat-like things in northeastern India? Because they Khap people, they give verdict only. Women don't take mobile phone, don't wear jeans. It is saying don't marry a non-Khasi person like that. So that's why we are worried.
Correct.
And another thing is that the people on power, they always try to make people busy in some silly things so that they cannot think about the corruption, the development, etc. This is one of the factors.
Correct. I will come to Mr. Mangnar, but before that, Mr. Lamare, Ms. Kong Patricia, Kong Pat was basically saying that why blame the Khasi women alone? Why point the needle of suspicion only at Khasi women? That they will be engaged in Benami deals and all that. What about Khasi men? Kong Patricia was saying that Khasi men are also engaged. There may be many Khasi men who may be engaged in Benami dealings.
Okay, according to what Patricia said there, why blame only the Khasi women, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Because as you have said, that men also are involved in that. But according to what we see, according to what we have experienced, according to what we see on our day-to-day lives, many of these women, around 90 to 95% of these women who are involved in, who are married to these people who are not from the community, they are the ones who are, who are being given all the facilities, all the benefits. That's the point. As what Patricia has said, I would like to point out again, it's like, okay, men are also involved, but majority of them are women.
All right.
Men are also there, one or two, but not to that extent.
Right.
But majority of the...
Mr. Lingdo, yes. Mr. Lingdo, do you think, I'm asking, coming back to this question.
Yes.
Mr. R.J. Lingdo, I'm coming back to this question. Now, see, nothing is going to happen without the governor's assent. What about the chief minister? Because the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council is led by the NPP, which is the ruling party, which is the leading ruling party, leading component of the coalition. Now, do you think the chief minister or the state government can totally ignore a contrarian view? Do you think the state government will recommend to the governor the passing of this bill?
I don't know. I think, you see, this is a very speculative question that you've put to me. I would not want to speculate on whether it would be politically expedient or not for the NPP chief minister to listen to the NPP CEM. I mean, these are very speculative. I would not know how to answer to that question also, Wasbir. I'm sorry.
Patricia Mukim, you know, Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Patricia Mukim, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you, Wasbir. Sorry.
Okay. Now, we'll fix those audio lines.
I can't hear at all.
Ask my producers to reconnect to Miss Patricia Mukim, because that's very important to have her views. And also, we want to go back to Lambok Margnar and Joe Lamari. Mr. Lambok Margnar, can you hear me? Lambok, can you hear me? Okay, so they cannot hear me at the moment. There is a technical snag. Dr. Jyoti Barua, I mean, you know, now you see the state government, we know Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council is a 6th scheduled body.
Yes.
It has limited jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Now my question is, okay fine, it belongs to the same political party. It's the NPP which is leading the coalition. It is the NPP which is leading the coalition in the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council also. My question to you, Dr. Jyoti Barua, can the Chief Minister, can the state government for that matter, ignore the contrarian view and completely ignore all other view and just blindly side with the district council and recommend that the bill be immediately passed to the governor?
No, this bill is for the welfare of the society, whole society, and there should not be any limitation, and there should not be any relationship with the political ambience. So we have to study it in detail, because see, that topic of the debate is quite peculiar to me, because this is relating to only women, not about men also.
Yes.
And also that this power of the women is related to land system of the society as a whole for their developmental process. But these things are not discussed at all. And if there will be some restrictions, there will be some limitations, how those women who are leading the society, who are giving us the a very beautiful scenario in the matriarchal society, how they will lead the people. And some sort of lacking is there, some sort of loophole is there.
There are loopholes.
Yes.
Now, Mairi Mohanto, my question is, you know, a state government is for the entire people of the state. Now, if this bill is passed, if the bill gets the governor's assent, technically, if a Khasi woman marries a Garo, she will become a non-Khasi. She will be regarded as a non-Khasi. Although Garos and Khasis are part of the same state. Now, if a Khasi woman decides to marry a Jaintia, she may be regarded as a non-Khasi. What's going on? After all, we are supposed to be in the 21st century, and of course, nobody is above the law and the Supreme and the Constitution. Now, the Supreme Court has clearly given a verdict recently that nobody can interfere. So, what is going on? What do you think will be the role of the Chief Minister? What do you think will be the role of the Governor? It's very critical, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really, it's very weird, because I don't understand why the people so hurry to pass this bill right now, because they should invest more on research if they have doubt, because and my question is that whatever be the problem, they say that it's an immigration problem, some people they even say that it's like a silent evasion, but whatever may the reason why women are targeted always, at first women are targeted, why? This is my question.
That is the question.
So,
Mr. Lambok Margnar, if you can hear me, little while ago, many of our panelists are saying that why should only the Khasi women be suspected? Why should the Khasi needle of suspicion pointed at only the Khasi women? Even the Khasi men, many Khasi men may be engaged in Benami transactions, Benami deals. Mr. Margnar.
Well, no doubt the Khasi men also have, regarding with this matter.
Yeah.
But we have witnessed several of times that the non-Khasi men married to non-Khasi women to avoid the customary law, to avoid the law of the land, and especially to avoid from the purview of the Benami Acts.
Right. Right. Now, Lamari, what do you think, Joe? Because the line was,
Hello.
little audio
Yes.
was unclear. What do you think now?
I cannot understand your question. Can you repeat, please?
No, my question is, you know, we have been discussing why the needle of suspicion should go or be pointed only at Khasi women. And then my question now to you, Joe, is this, you know, the state government has to look at the overall interest of the state, all communities, they have to take the interest, whereas the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council is only concerned about the interest of the Khasi community. Now, do you think it will be easy for the Chief Minister to recommend to the governor that this bill should be passed? Do you think it will be easy for him?
Okay, there may be certain lacunas in the bill that has been passed by the district council, but that also entirely depends on the district council affairs minister to study the bill and to send it to his legal team of experts to examine the bill. And if there is any lacuna in the bill, then the district council affairs minister can always send back the bill to the district council with the suggestions that these are the loopholes, these are the lacunas that needs to be rectified in the bill. So the chief minister can take the advice of the council of ministers. He needs to call in the meeting with the council of ministers, with his cabinet, with his MLAs, with every stakeholders in the state, so that if this bill is passed also, it does not have to be a biased bill or a one-sided bill. So the chief minister, in all his wisdom, he can always consult the legal team. He can always consult the experts on this, so that to see that if this bill needs certain changes, needs certain amendments, he can always send back the bill to the district council to do some rectification.
I think, Joe, that is a very good perspective. Very, very clear perspective coming from you, Joe Lamari. Let me go to Patricia Mukim. Miss Patricia Mukim, can you hear me now? We can hear you on the phone. Miss Patricia Mukim.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
Miss Patricia Mukim, if you can hear me, you know, we would like to increase the audio of Patricia Mukim. Yes. Ms. Patricia Mukim, my question is, the Chief Minister, at the end of the day, if the bill is passed, the state government will have to be a party to this bill, isn't it?
Yes.
Up the audio, Patricia Mukim. Increase the audio. Yes. Carry on, Patricia Mukim. We can hear you.
I can't.
I can hear you partly. Your voice is fading.
I can hear you partly. Your voice is fading.
Let me answer that. Can you hear me, Wasbir?
No, but let me answer that. Can you hear
Audio.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Increase the audio, Patricia Mukim.
See, I don't think we should put the onus on the Chief Minister. The onus is on the cabinet, which has to study the bill, and as Joe Lamare said, they have to call in constitutional experts, they have to call in even gender experts to look at the bill from all quarters, all aspects, so that nothing is without being cross-studied. So, you know, I would like to
Patricia's
think
picture
that
on the frame.
any government that passes such a bill, such a discriminatory bill, is not a government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's the government of a small minority that's pandering to a small political constituency.
Okay, good. Mr. Lingdo, what do you think? Mr. R.G. Lingdo, we can hear you. Carry on.
Frankly, I think this bill needs to be looked at more properly. Like I had said from the beginning, we all understand. I also am very aware of the dangers that are there, but
to bring in a bill that would perhaps, drive a wedge within the Khasi community itself is not a right step. I would say that we have to look at all the angles, look at all the pros and cons, and ensure that whatever solution that we take is a solution that will be the best for the Khasi community. Not something that would only benefit one part and not benefit another part. We cannot do things in a piecemeal manner. I think the timing of bringing this bill also is suspect, because next year we have the district council elections. I have a feeling it is aimed at that, because there is one more very important bill, which is the village administration bill, which is still pending. I think that should be taking a lot more precedence than any other issue. But the way that this bill has been introduced, I suspect the motive behind it.
Okay, I am running short of time. Ms. Patricia Mukim, what are your thoughts? What are your concluding remarks?
What are your concluding remarks?
Ms. Patricia Mukim, what are your concluding
Can you hear
remarks?
me?
What are your concluding?
Okay, my concluding remarks are that this bill should be actually thrown out. It's not a bill that is enlightened. It's not a bill that is informed. It's not a bill that has the participation of the public, and therefore it cannot be, you cannot pass a bill. Somebody said that the 29 people represent us in the district council. Now, when a bill is being passed in parliament, it goes through so many processes.
But it is not easy to throw out the bill. It has already been passed by the district council. If anybody can scuttle the bill,
superiority of knowledge to pass a bill without public.
Patricia Mukim, if anybody can now scuttle the bill, it is the governor, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So, see, the governor has to seek legal counsel.
Governor has to seek legal counsel. Very
He
strong.
has to ensure that, he has to ensure that the bill does not, as Mr. R.J. Lingdo said, drive a wedge in this society.
Okay. So that is strong words there from Ms. Patricia Mukim. The bill needs to be thrown out. Governor has to take legal counsel, and bill should not drive a wedge in the Khasi society. Mr. Arjilingdo, your last words. I'll come to Lombok Magnar and Joe Lamari. Mr. Lingdo, your last words.
I feel that no decision should be taken based on fear. No decision should be taken based on emotions. We should look at things, put things in a proper perspective and rationally decide everything.
Okay. Mr. Lombok Magnar, what do you have to say? What are your concluding remarks?
We strongly appreciate the move by District Council, and we welcome this bill, and we believe the state government also will act accordingly what the District Council have already passed this bill.
Okay. Mr. Joe Lamari?
Okay, I can hear you. My concluding remarks would be, in a parliamentary form of government, the legislature makes a law, passes a bill for the interest of the people. But the district council in this case also have to thoroughly look into this matter. They already have looked and have thought that, and their intention is mainly to protect and preserve the identity of the small community like us. So, what my concluding remarks would be is like, if the district council is sincere enough to make this bill pass, they should try and they should see to it that this bill should get the approval of the state government, and if there is any lacuna, they should not be
Absolutely.
proud not
Absolutely.
to accept the
Absolutely,
recommendations
Mr.
if
Lamari.
the state government makes it.
Right.
But they should accept, and they should try to make and formulate laws that will suit the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
That's all. That's my concluding remarks.
Yes. Dr. Jyoti Bora, what are your concluding remarks? What is your last word?
I think this is relating to social issue. That is why any social issue cannot be accepted without any research and in-depth discussion. So there should be an in-depth discussion with male and female of the society, and after that it can be accepted.
Absolutely. In social issue, therefore, needs in-depth discussion. That is what Dr. Jyoti Bora, a very experienced hand in customary laws in the region, saying debate, discuss, and then move ahead. Maini Mohanto, what do you think at the end of the day?
Yeah, I request Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council to reconsider the issue. They should discuss with broader civil society, because it will polarize the Khasi society. There will be two sections. One is with pure Khasi blood, and another is impure, that is mixed blood. So it will be like polarization in the society. So, and I have trust on Conrad Sangma, Chief Minister. He is a young, dynamic leader, highly educated. So he should do something, and he must do something.
Okay, so there is a lot that these are the viewpoints, divergent views, but at the end of the day, there is a general call for more discussion, more debate. Yes, there are two sides are equally strong in the argument. The side talk in support of the bill, who are favoring the bill, are also saying that it is extremely important to protect the interest of the Khasi society, and those actually expressing their reservations about the bill have also very, very strong arguments, which of course cannot be ignored. So the challenge lies at the door of the governor, what Governor Ganga Prasad does, on what Chief Minister Conrad Sangma and his government recommends. These are things that will be closely watched, not only by people in Khasi Hills, but the people in the entire Northeast. On this note, I conclude this edition of Northeast Tonight. I thank all my panelists for being on the program. Good night and goodbye.